Hey everyone, just going to do a drone video finally. I am constantly asked, not only on my page, but off to the side about the drones and should I mix and match? Should I not do that? What are the best skills? Where do I use the drones? And I finally have enough knowledge after several months since they've been released to maybe have a better update drone video from the past when the drones first came out. I rushed to do a couple videos because players were asking, and I was still trying to figure them out and stuff. And none of the videos are ever perfect by any means. And again, guys, I'm no master at this by any means. I'm still learning. Even some of the bigger players are still learning what skills are the best to put to what drones. And, this is a big topic and uh, technically a pretty big game, technically, also. And so, especially with the new players, I mean, it's easy to just be completely lost. It's easy to get just really bad advice. You can pull 20 different players randomly, and 20 different players are going to have different opinions on this. None of them are ever going to match up. And so that's kind of how deep this goes with, especially the drones that, you know, who's got the right answers? Who can I ask that's gonna really have an understanding of this? And that still might not even be me, to be honest, guys. But at the same time, I've been poking around with this enough to just maybe give you guys your ideas of how you want to do this, my opinions on this again, and hopefully this can just help out a lot, especially to the entry level players that are just completely lost. And so I'm gonna start maybe not the way you guys are expecting here, and I'm gonna start with Legion Hunt. And the reason why I'm going to Legion Hunt is, this is a team event and an individual event to a degree, but more of a team event. And by knowing what drones to use against, especially the Legion bosses, is pretty crucial, especially for the team, because your ultimate goal here is you're trying to get your reward level. 12 is the highest. It does not go past 13, just to give you guys heads up that didn't know that. But as a team, you want to try to get into that 12 at all costs because you are getting the maximum reward for your tech points. That way you can upgrade, basically, you can upgrade your weapons, your defense, and different things like that. But this is very crucial, especially as a team, to know how to set up your drones, to know how to set up your tech, because the better you guys are at doing that as a team, the more likely you're going to get into higher level rewards. And this is very important, and it stems from the drones also. It really does. And so, same with Star Scramble. You guys, with Star Scramble, what are we trying to do? Of course, we want to win. We want to win everything, of course. But by winning, you're maximizing basically your team points and your individual points to do what? To get these crucial coins, especially for these pilots that you cannot get any other way than winning and getting your coins per week through Star Scramble, especially. So this is very crucial, and it also goes back to team. If your team knows how to set up their drones better and their tech, it's going to help you guys possibly win more. And yes, it goes back to the drones. And same with Planet Wars. We win Planet Wars, or even play Planet Wars. We're going after the special coins to do what now? Get our Titan gear without hopefully spending any money on this. And there's a lot of players that don't want to spend any money, so it's a crucial that you guys are wanting to win this. And how can you win it? By a better drone setup and a better tech setup. And I'm going to go one step further here for you guys. And the Titan Challenge, guys. The Titan Challenge, every player should want to get into basically Legend. The payout on Legend on those coins is the highest that you can get. And again, what these coins do is basically the same thing. Is, it's helping you guys acquire your Titan weapons, gear, shards, and different things within this store. So again, the stems, especially with the Titan 2, having the right drones and also the skills. I'm not going to take away from the skills, but it all stems basically from what a good drone setup. It really does. And so, going back to, should I mix match? Should I do it this way? Hopefully I can kind of explain this the way I'm going to explain it. I never want to be offensive to anybody. There's a lot of players that don't want to, spend money, and that's okay. I totally get it. And so I don't want to be offensive if, a player is saying, well, I don't want to spend any money, so I mix and match this way. And, that's okay. That's okay. And I'm going to try to explain this just so that everybody knows what my opinion is on this, and why I wouldn't do something. And again, I'll say it one last time, it's my opinion. And, depending on who you guys are talking to, they're probably going to have something else to say. So, let me go back here, guys. And so when the drones first came out, I, of course, was like, well, I'm a little bit bigger of a player playing against bigger players, so I'm going to have to just go directly after the SR drones. And I regret it. I really do, guys. And I'm going to help, especially the entry players. And I just wish I would have known what I know now when the drones first came out. But I took the big step and was like, oh, I'm going to go after SR. And I ended up going after my electricals, pretty much full sets. I started doing some other testing, and I noticed at the time that the electricals weren't performing the way I wanted them to, and maybe I just didn't understand them the right way. Maybe I didn't understand the skills too, though. And so right here, I'm going to skip my story here, and I'm going to go back to it here in a second. But right in the middle of the page here, guys, is your drone gallery. So if I go to the drone gallery here, you guys can see at the top there, I had my electricals that I had started collecting. And, I was more than maybe halfway there to a degree. And then I ended up selling those because after my testing, and I still wasn't, fully knowing what was going on, but the burning drones just seemed to do just so much better. So I sold the electricals for my burning drone. And, I said I never regretted it. And now that I'm down the road and understand this a lot more, I totally regret it, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I do. And I'm going to tell you guys why. And I'm going to tell you, entry-level players, why I regret it also, and what I would have done differently, especially knowing what I know now. So I keep seeing a really big mistake, especially with entry players. They'll ask me, hey, I've got an SR drone. I've got this other SR drone, and I'm struggling. And I don't want to spend any money, or just maybe a tiny bit of money. And especially for an entry-level player, I think going after the SR drones is a terrible mistake in so many different ways here. And so, especially as an entry player, you guys should be going after your end drones right away. And I would not collect an SR drone. If you have them and you're an entry player, just keep it. But go and collect your end drones right out of the gate. And I'm going to tell you one of the biggest reasons why, and regardless for an entry player or not, one of the biggest reasons why is because when you start collecting these and you start getting sets together and you start upgrading these together, you get what's known as combo bonuses. And the combo bonuses impact basically your base power. You do get permanent base power by every combo that you get with these drones. And so I made a crucial mistake by going after the SRs not knowing how this was exactly working. And so I ended up missing a ton of base power combos by not starting out with the end drone. So if I was a new player now and I knew what man, this would have saved me a ton of time. It would have saved me a ton of headaches. I would have started out with the end drones for that fact alone. But as an entry player, if you guys are going after those SR drones, you're struggling. Some of these other smaller players are more than likely beating you more often because they have the end drones with better skills that they got faster and more stars than you are able to collect as an SR drone, if that makes sense. Yeah, the SR drones are powerful, but if you're not upgrading them pretty quickly, and everybody else is upgrading their drones, even if they're lower level than the SR, they're more than likely going to beat you. So for an entry player right out of the gate, get your end drones. And you heard one of the main reasons because you want your base power for one. So as an entry level player, and shoot, even a middle player, if you don't have these, now it makes more sense that you're going to have to go back and collect these end drones and the R drones anyways to get that extra base power eventually. And so I just wish I would have known that more when I started playing with the drones. I would have totally just went after my end drones, sold the end drones after I maxed them out, go to the R drones, sell the R drones, and then go to the SR drones. And so there's a huge, huge point from me to you guys into how to do this immediately. Again, if you've got your SR drones, I wouldn't sell those just because the value possibly depends on how much you have invested into it. But you guys are going to get way more powerful faster by doing the end drones, and those going to pass your SR drones that are just sitting there for weeks trying to get that extra piece, if that makes sense. So me personally, go to the end drones as a new player, get those all the way up. Again, you can sell that max set and then go to the R drones afterwards. So that's the biggest and most solid advice that I could ever give to you guys right now, right out of the gate. Okay. And so let's move forward maybe just a little bit more, trying to explain. I always have the question. I always have the question, should I mix and match the drones? I put out a drone video quite a while ago, and it's a little controversial. I guess all of my videos are always controversial to somebody. It's just kind of the way that it goes. But one thing that I noticed, and there was a big argument amongst the players, once you get your combination bonuses, that it doesn't matter if you mix and match your drones because you have the combo bonus. And for me, it never made any sense. And I'm going to go back to this. Nowhere on this page does it say mixing and matching a drone gives you the combo bonuses. Now, again, you're going to have players argue about this, and really hard to completely test if that's true or not. I mean, really, really difficult. And so for me, just looking at this page, what do you always see? 3 of the same drones for your combo bonuses. And so I have never been a big fan of mixing the drones, even in the beginning. I was already really fixated on what this page right here is saying. And, a lot of the other players, again, no, once you get that combo bonus, you can mix and match and you can do this and that. And, I always have to say, well, prove it. I've never been able to really prove it that, you are getting a combo bonus because, again, it doesn't show that on this page. And so, not to start an argument again, not to, get everybody worked up into this, but for me right here, I'm telling you guys, my opinion again, I've never been a fan of mixing and matching drones at all. I've always been recoils only, burning drones only, or when I had the electricals and I was, testing them out, just 3 across the board. That's just me. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into this. And again, I don't want to be offensive to anybody, and it's not really offensive, but I'm going to tell you guys why that, for me, that is extremely crucial, not to mix your drones. And I think that's exactly where we're going to go into now. Okay. So for the new players and stuff, still not really understanding, how do I get my drones? And so on this page, there's a yellow button that says get. And so right here is how you get your drones. And so I sold my in drones. I finally got those maxed out. I sold those to put all of my Rhyonite that I got back from selling those in drones into my R drones. So don't forget, when you max that in drone out, what can you do? You can sell them. You're not going to get the complete value back off of it, but you're going to get enough value basically to immediately get your R drones somewhat up to par, almost immediately. And then what are you getting once you do that? Every time you get your combos to the R drone, you're getting more base power. So technically, by doing the in drones, going to the R drones, you're cruising along, getting base power way faster. And that's another little tip to you guys. Absolutely do your in drones. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about trying to be the biggest and baddest. And let me tell you guys a little secret there. There's always going to be somebody bigger and badder than you. Set your pace, get your game plan together, set your own goals, and go for it. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about being the biggest player, or don't worry if this other player is beating you and making it a competition. Who cares? Of course, you kind of want the competition to do what? Push yourself to get better and to learn the game better. And yes, go with those in drones and work your way up. Sell them. Go to the R drones, and that's exactly what I've been doing here. And then, so how do you get your drones? Again, I'll go back. You hit get at the bottom here and right here. And so I have an opportunity of buying a drone that I don't have with the R drone. I'm going to do it in front of you guys. I'm going to buy it. I just activated it. And now, how do I find more drones? It says right here, you get 3 free refreshes a day. So if you don't want to spend a bunch of money, you can wait, for your Rhyonite daily to basically go up, and you get 3 free refreshes. But again, if you're a new player and you already went after those SR drones, it's going to take you forever. And some of your other players and enemy players, we'll just call it that, they might be beating you really badly because they have in drones with better skills, and they're cruising right along it while you're still trying to sit here and mess with the SR drone that's taking you forever to get. So I think that's a really big mistake, especially for the new player. So I'm just going to say it outright. That way you guys just have, brutal honesty to, maybe that's not the right way to go. Everybody wants the SR drones, but again, if it's taking you way longer than somebody else collecting that in drone way faster than you, there's a good chance you're losing against players you shouldn't be losing against. So now that I found the drone, I can use my free refresh. I can use all of them, trying to find another R drone. There is another feature here, auto refresh, at the bottom corner there. And what's cool about the auto refresh is you can specifically say, hey, stop when I see an R drone. Stop when I see an SR drone. So you can set the max limits of how many times this does it, and it really does help. I mean, if you don't want to sit there clicking for 9 million times trying to find a drone, this is a really cool feature that they do have in it. I do use it a lot. I'm going to back out of it, and I'll just give you an example. I've only got a tiny bit of Rhyonite left, but let's do 10 refreshes. And I don't have 10, but you see how it's automatically going through those drones for me to go and find that. A really cool feature. That's another way that you guys can specifically look for a drone. If you turn those off, your end drones are going to be there also. And you don't really even need to turn those on or off for that to happen. But that's how you use that. And then once I get that drone, what do I do with the drone? So you can see the drone I just got at the very bottom left here, and it has a 1 star. And I'm just going to want to match up basically either the name or even easier, just match up the drone. I'm going to go to the drone and look what it says. It says Evolve. So I'm going to hit the Evolve. And there's a plus sign right in the middle of the screen there with an exclamation telling you you need to basically open this. So I'm going to open that up. And you do have to check box the check there in the right hand top corner. You can see me doing it off and on. I'm going to confirm, and I am going to evolve basically this drone. And a lot of times, if you have the right drones that you're evolving, the lower ones matching to the other star drones is how that kind of works. So let me re-explain that a different way. So if you look in the very bottom right hand corner, do you see my electrical drone there has basically 5 red stars? Now if you look at my other electrical drones, some of them are into the purple and starting to go into what some players call the rainbow stage, or the I don't think anybody's got the right answer of what that next level, because you have red, you basically have your yellow, then you have your red, then you have your purple, and then it looks like yellow again, or what some players, again, I've heard a lot of players say that it's rainbow. So whatever it is, so the more I can get that electrical drone from red into these other stars, that's going to start giving me combo bonuses. So realistically, I really want to go after basically Hydra here. And the more I can get my star equal to the other stars here, I'm going to start getting those combo bonuses. And that's very crucial because, again, it's building up my base power. And so that's kind of how that works. Hopefully I explained that right here to you guys. And so, but that's how you basically get your drones and upgrade your drones just in a little simple pass here, guys. And so I do have the recoils set up there on purpose. And so maybe I can start going into my opinion again of why you would want to do maybe all 3 of your drones versus a mixing drone. Now, again, I'm not talking to anybody out of not mixing your drones. I'm not talking to anybody, I'm not telling you specifically not to do that, but again, maybe I kind of am, and I'm going to explain this to you guys, and you can make your own decisions. A lot of players also mix and match things, especially the drones, because it can be very, very expensive every time you go to reset one of these drones. I don't know if I can reset it. It's at its lowest level anyways. But when you go to reset those drones, it can cost 200 diamonds per drone. And so that's 600 to 1200 diamonds a day, switching back and forth from your burning drone, as an example, to basically your recoil. And it can be extremely pricey. And I think a lot of the players that aren't spending money, they're trying to do the mix and matching so that they don't have to spend that type of money or diamonds into the game. And I totally get it, guys. I get it. I totally get it. But I'm going to set the story straight from my side of the perspective of why maybe you should in some cases. How do you get your diamonds, especially for the new players? You're going to want to join a really good legion that is sharing diamonds that you can go to your collection center and pull from and help those players. And if you got players all day long pulling diamonds for you that you can collect, that's a great way that you can maybe keep up on this without spending any money on it, but being with a good legion that's sharing diamonds. So there's my tip to you and to maybe how you can do this. But I know a lot of players are mixing and matching their drones because they don't want to spend the diamonds. But I'm going to tell you guys why this isn't good, why I think it's crucial not to do this, okay? And again, this is my opinion. And, you know, when I get into Planet Wars and Star Scramble, whenever I see a big player mixing and matching their drones, I just kind of laugh. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I already know. I mean, if it's a big player, I mean, more than likely they're going to beat me with that setup. But I can't remember a player that has had a mixed set of drones that has beat me, to be super honest with you guys. And I'm going to tell you guys why. And, okay, so, excuse me. Now, going to your drones, each drone has a skill set, okay? And these skills are crucial to what you're trying to do. Now, if you're mixing and matching your drones and you're mixing and matching your skills, I'm just going to say it kind of bluntly here right in the beginning. If you're mixing and matching your drone skills, one from PvP, and I'll use burning drone as an example, and you're mixing that burning drone with PvP, you have lost out the attributes to that burning drone being effective in Titan and Legion boss. So the bottom line to how these drones work, guys, is recoils. These are the recoil drones that I have in here. These recoils are meant to be player versus player pretty much only. Now, you can get a value out of your recoils doing Titan, and you're going to get a small, tiny value out of them. Now, they're not completely useless, but compared to putting on a burning drone with the right skills versus a recoil, for example, on Titan, it is night and day. Your Titan score is going to be almost, I can't say, it depends on your skills and your level and stuff, but I mean, you can see tons of more points by using the burning drones against Legion boss, or your electricals even against the Titan and Legion boss versus your recoils. These recoils, and it kind of sucks, and I was thinking about this actually earlier today before doing this video, that they are recoils. They're supposed to be bouncing back enemy fire. And, you know, to go a little bit backwards here and just kind of a weird little segment that I'm going to say about the recoils. I mean, if you're using recoil against Titan, he's firing at you. He's got his Titan blast. The Legion bosses are firing at you. And if they're recoils, they still should be recoiling back the enemy fire. But that's not how it works. Your recoils are specifically designed for player versus player events, such as Star Scramble and Planet Wars. That's just the way it works. And do they work? Absolutely. Absolutely. The other value for me with the recoils, even though you can turn your burning electricals into a PvP drone, is basically you want to get your death shields on all three of these. There's a big tip from me to you. I know I wasn't going to tell too much about the skill side of it, but you want a shield on each one of these guys, especially the new players, because those death shields are basically, you know, a second chance at survival, a third chance at survival. And so, yeah, right here, if a drone takes fatal damage, it has a 35% chance on the gold skill here of triggering, avoid death, and recovering 30% of the damage it took in combat. Only when, I don't know why they have it this way. It's kind of odd. Only when against players up to one time. So it's basically telling you, so, okay, so right here, guys, is kind of my point. Against players. Let's say you're using your burning drone as a PvP. You're mixing and matching, and you have a death shield on that burning drone. Well, that's great. Okay, okay. You're using it as PvP. It's seemingly working, but when you take that burning drone back to Titan and you have your recoils on with these shields as a very big example, um, it's not doing anything to the Titan. You're not getting anything out of this death shield going to the Titan and the Legion boss. Nothing. You just lost a complete skill. And if you have 3 drones that you went in to go fight Titan with this shield on it, you just lost 3 skills that could be hurting the Titan. Does that make sense now, guys? So if you're mixing and matching the wrong pieces and you're using one for this, you're using the other for the other, you just lost the whole value of what that drone is completely. Again, the recoils are not good outside of PvP whatsoever. So you can pump those up all you want. If you have those death shields on it, you've automatically, on all 3, you've automatically lost 3 skills of being able to damage basically the Legion boss and also the Titan alone. You just lost 3 skills. And that means 3 major ways of making crucial points here. So I'm not a big fan of mixing drones for that reason alone here, guys. And now maybe I can do this a little bit different because these are all random. Okay, so what do we have on? We have recoils, okay? What are the recoils really meant for, guys? Player versus player, okay? And so maybe I can also use this as a huge demonstration. These are all random skills. I don't really play with the R drones because I do have my SR. I'm just, again, collecting for me, my base power. And what's kind of cool about doing this is these all have random skills in it. And it can give us maybe an example of if I was setting up for PvP, would these be the right skills? So maybe we can go over some of these here. Now, it has basically a cooldown skill. Now, a cooldown skill per drone can be pretty valuable. I just recently asked one of my mentors today if it's crucial to have the cooldowns, and I was kind of on the fence about it just a little bit. I kind of knew the answer, but at the same time, I still asked. And you heard what I said. I even asked my mentor, and they basically said, absolutely. The cooler, the higher the rate that it cools down, the higher the rate that you're firing. So this could actually be a pretty cool skill for basically any of the drones, just as a little tip. Now, again, if I'm mixing and matching my drones, well, I'm going to use my drone. I'm going to use it for both Titan, and I'm going to use it both for the player versus player. I'm going to set my skills up for both. Okay. All right. That's fine. So basically, that's kind of how this drone is set up. Look what it has. Increased drone damage against boss by 15%. Great. Hey, awesome. But you know what this just did? Using a recoil in player versus player by having this set? Nothing. You just lost a skill to defeating somebody. By having this skill on this drone, you have just defeated the whole entire point of the recoil against a player. So you just lost a slot, if that makes sense. So you can do whatever you guys want. You can mix and match, and you can set your skills saying, I'm going to do both with these. But now you have just lost the potential of maximizing your Titan by doing this, or maximizing your player versus player. And right there alone, for me, tells you that you shouldn't be mixing and matching, especially your skills between PvP and your events. That alone says it all. Again, if I leave this on here and I go into player versus player, I am probably going to get beat. They're probably set up all the way across the board with their recoils to beating me. And if I'm missing skills and I'm saying, well, I'm going to play both sides of the field, you're not maximizing and you're going to lose dramatically. So, and again, this is my opinion. I know the players, again, that don't want to spend a bunch of money and different things like that. I get it, guys. I get it. But here's the raw truth to how this works. This is the raw truth. And so most of the time, if these players that are smaller than you, that are beating you, you probably have bad skills, or you're mixing and matching your drones, and they're just wiping the floor with you. I see it all the time. And then that's when these players come back and, hey, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? What can I change? And again, me personally, I am a 3 drone player. I do not mix and match solely for this reason. I'm losing skill values to each side of the drone. So if I do the same thing to my burning drone, I just lost the value out of Titan by putting PvP skills on it, if that makes sense to you guys. So for me, that's detrimental to, do I want to beat players or do I want to beat the Titan? For me, there's no in between, because there really isn't an in between. You can be the in between player. That's fine. No big deals. If you're wondering why you're not getting into legend or why everybody else is beating you, this is more than likely the whole entire reason, guys. Right here alone. So hopefully this kind of breaks the mold of, should I mix and match my drones, or should I just do burning drones, or should I just do basically recoils? And for me right here, this is the best way I could have explained it to you guys, is what are the values of my skills, and does this value, so again, going to increase drone damage against boss, did this do anything for me as a recoil made for player versus player? Absolutely not. I just lost against a player because of this, potentially alone. So we'll go through the other skills. Increase drone reflection damage. If we're using this for player versus player, I mean, yeah, that's a great skill to have. If I can reflect damage back. And so let me go backwards a tiny bit too. So you guys are putting on a burning drone in a player versus player against a player that has, what is it called? Recoils. What does a recoil do? And this might be a tiny bit controversial, maybe, what I'm going to say. It recoils back at you. So if you're putting on all of these powerful burning drones and it's recoiling, where's it recoiling back to? You. So you're taking these powerful drones and you're recoiling that back to you. Does that make sense? Does that not make sense? So that's a little controversial even to me. Do I really want to put on a burning drone that's potentially damaging myself? So that's just food for thought, guys, right? And so I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, when you put on your burning drones and you put on a death shield to it, have you guys ever noticed how much health you get back on basically the death shield as the last chance? You get a lot back. You get a lot back. Why do you get a lot back? Because you're hurting yourself. Because, I mean, yeah, yeah. So, again, I'm a straight shooter across the board with the drones, guys. That's just me, okay? If you guys are going to ask me, you guys wanted to ask me, and I do say it out loud. I do tell other players, I am a 3 drone player for, again, the skill purposes. And again, if I'm playing against players that I want to beat those players, then I'm going to use all PvP skills against that player. I'm not going to mix my drones, and I'm not going to mix basically my skills, because I'm going to lose value either way I go in the game now. But that's just me. That's just me. So just moving forward here, increase normal attack rate against drones. You could probably find a better skill than that. technically, just to throw you guys a little bit of a bone. Is it a bad skill to have? I mean, no. I mean, no skill that's increasing your drone is a bad skill. Okay, let me just make sure that that's clear too. No skill is a bad skill, but can you maximize these skills with combinations? Absolutely. Absolutely. What do we have here? Within the first 5 seconds of combat, add one more trajectory to the drone, normal attack dealing. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. I'm not going to knock it. Is there better skills? Yes, but is that a bad skill? No, not at all. So, depending on what you're trying to do with these drones, guys, I mean, um, the skills can be a little controversial. And again, you can ask a whole bunch of different players, what skills should I put on? Well, this is working for me. This is working for me. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. And so I just want to make sure that that's clear. There's a lot of different ways that we can do this. And okay, we're going to move forward just so I can, okay, we're in PvP. Okay, the player versus player. Would these be the skills that I would keep on these drones? Increase physical damage of the drone. If you're using Conquer, hey, that would be a great skill to have. If you're playing with Thor or Destroyer, this might not be the skill for you. So depending on your setup, just what I just said prior to going to this, depending on your setup is how you're going to set these up. But I know if I was playing with Thor and I have this on there, I didn't have Conquer, for example, there's no way I would keep the skill on there. So, just really read the skills. Increase crit rate. I mean, of course that's going to be a great skill. Why not? Yeah, your critical damage rate. Absolutely. That's a great skill. Increase attack rate of drone, normal attack by 7. It's a good skill. Not going to knock it. Is there better skills? Possibly. Just depends on if you can get them. Did you guys hear what I just said? Depends on if you can get them. These skills, again, if you got gold skills, just because you have a gold skill does not mean that that's good for your drone. Just because it looks shiny and pretty does not mean that it's actually a good skill for that drone. So be very careful and read the description of what you got, because you might have gold skills that you're all proud of that aren't doing anything for you. So here's another one. Drone normal attack can trigger a small scale explosion with both normal attack and explosion damage increasing by 136%. But what does it say? Not effective in PvP. So of course you wouldn't want to keep this skill. But if you're mixing your drones and you're leaving this to go fight the Titan and play player versus player, you just lost a whole entire slot against defeating that player. So hopefully this is really starting to make sense where I'm going with this, guys. Yeah, mixing and matching your drones and mixing and matching your skills to, I don't want to spend diamonds, and I get it, but you have just lost so much value on both sides of the spectrum. So hopefully this is starting to make a lot more sense. And let's say I want to change these. So let me go back here to the middle right of your screen. It says edit. You click your edit, and now you can click through here, especially for the newer players, not really quite sure how to do this. And you can go through here and let's just put burning drones in for an example. Okay, I'm going to confirm this. And we'll do the same thing just real quick. Okay, and so these are random skills, which I really love for the sake of this video, because what would I do in the situation? Again, what type of player am I with drones? I'm all 3 burning drones, I'm all 3 recoil, I'm all 3 electrical. Now, electrical could be really good resources for who? The Thor and the Destroyer or energy players. Yeah, the electricals. So I don't ever want to discredit the electricals. I would never tell you guys to sell those, because again, What are the electricals? They're energy weapons. So would it be smart to keep your electrical if you're absolutely? So big difference there. I just want to make sure that that's loud and clear. Do not go out and sell your electricals. Me personally, I'd keep all three, which I'm gonna keep all three eventually. That way, if I do get into my Thor ship, I can switch over to those. If I stay in Conquer, I'll probably stay in Burning Drones. As far as basically Titans and Legion bosses, and then basically the recoils would be for PvP. I wouldn't bring the electrical or the burning drones into PvP. That's just my opinion. Okay, guys. So, and I've described to you why. I've shown you why. It's not a very good idea of doing that. It's just, again, if you're going back to Titan with your burning and you got them set up for PvP, you just lost so much value against the Titan. And again, vice versa, going back into player versus player, you just lost all kinds of skills that you could be defeating a lower player, wiping the floor with you, basically. Okay, but we'll go through this just a little tiny bit more here, guys. Increase attack or increase critical rate. Absolutely, why not? Increase energy damage of the drone. Again, if I have, basically, if I'm using Thor or I am using the Destroyer, absolutely great skill to keep in there for your recoils. But as far as the Titan, it depends on the Titan. If it's a Thor Titan, absolutely this would be great. But if it's a Conqueror Titan like we're in right now, probably not. It's just kind of a wasted skill. So now a lot of players don't know this. They don't realize this. And I'm going to throw another bone here. Okay, so look at this skill here. Drone normal attack can penetrate 2 enemies, dealing 145% of normal attack damage. Not effective in player versus player. Okay? So what this is basically telling you guys, that this skill is specific for what? Missions. So, hey, that's great. I mean, if you're really, really, really struggling on your missions, this could be a great skill. But what would it not be great on? Obviously, player versus player, and this would have no effect against Titan, and this would have no effect against the Legion boss. So me personally, I would never take this skill, ever. But I don't think a lot of players realize that there is a mixture, a tiny bit, of actual just mission skills that aren't effective anywhere else. So I don't know if this maybe helps players that really think, oh, that means I can use this on Titan. I did the testing, and it does not do anything. This is a mission specific skill. So me personally, just to throw you guys a bone, I would not arm this in any way, shape, or form. I'd get through my missions a whole different way than worrying about. But this could actually be a really cool skill if you are struggling, though, because 145% of normal damage on 2 enemies. I mean, that's pretty powerful. So don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of players, even medium and players that have been playing this, that there are specific just mission skills. So I'm glad I ran across this. If I'm in my burning drones and I'm trying to set this up for Titan, obviously I don't want this cheating death, because what just happened, I lost a skill that I could actually be doing damage with. You do not get any benefit. You do not get any life back from the Titan by using the shield, just as an example. And we've gone over this one before. Yeah, why not? So it just depends on what you guys are trying to do. But for me, I'm a Conqueror player. I love the Conqueror. I do have a Thor setup, but I'm a Conqueror player mainly. And Burning Drone, extreme fan. I love the Burning Drones. but I'm going to use burning drones for Titan. I'm going to use burning drones for Legion Boss. I'm going to use burning drones for missions and endless. When I go to play Star Scramble and when I go to play basically Planet Wars, I am going to be in 3 recoils because I want to maximize playing against players and not have mixed skills, and I don't want mixed drones losing value on both sides. So I'm not trying to convince anybody to not mix and match. You know, that's your prerogative, but I just want to make sure that it is stated to you that you're losing more value than you're actually gaining by doing that, and that's just the truth. That's the bottom line. I'm sure there will be a little argument on this video in a couple cases here, and I'm okay with that. I mean, that's pretty much every video that I put out. You know, someone's going to have a different opinion, and you know, even going back to that, just make sure that we're clear, guys. My page is open. There's not ever anybody that's came to my page and made a comment that I have not had a friendly discussion back, friendly advice. I don't think there's one comment since I started this page that I have not responded to. So if you have a better tip, you have a better idea or a better way of explaining this, I mean, please feel free to leave a comment. I mean, that's what it's about. We're just trying to help each other out. We're just trying to help each other achieve higher scores. You know, we all just want to do better in this game. So again, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Don't hesitate to say, hey, you know, maybe you should try this or that. And you know, just always remember, just keep it friendly. And another advice, guys, if you're getting in arguments with players over stuff, just don't. You know, it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to think that somebody else is arguing with you. If it just starts getting to that point, okay, you win. You know, just, you know, no offense in saying it this way, stay stuck in your ways. Don't open your mind to other ideas. You know, just don't get in the argument. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And sometimes that's really hard to do. I know, I call it the social media syndrome, where somebody has to be right. Their opinion is now fact, and it doesn't have any fact to it. And again, I call it the social media syndrome, to where everybody has their own entitlement and believes in their own entitlement, and it's really made it a really bad place throughout discords, and through that everybody has to be right. And you know, not everybody has to be right. Here's some friendly advices, maybe a way we can start approaching this better. How about just opening your mind to try it, you know? And that's a lot of times where I go with any argument. One, do you have a video? Can you prove what you're saying? 9.9 out of 10, of course they don't. You know, I want somebody to prove it if that's the way they want to go. I know that makes a lot of people mad, but at the same time, I want proof. That's kind of why I opened up this channel again, is to have proof. And you know, just try to be friendly, guys. No arguments over any of this stuff, especially on the channel. I'll have a friendly debate with anybody. That's fine. You heard what I said. I have no problems with friendly debate. Keep it a debate. Keep an open mind on both sides, and you know, everybody can get along. But if you have a better way, please do not hesitate to say something. And you know, I love learning. Am I right about everything? Absolutely not. Is anybody? No. Every day I'm learning something new. Every day, and I've been playing this for years. And so, you know, I just want to make sure that everybody stays calm after the video. And you know, again, hopefully it's not offensive to anybody that is mixing and matching their drones. I'm just putting out, you know, for me, what is factual about why you shouldn't do it. And if you are doing it and you're successful, hey, more power to you. So, but hopefully this kind of explains a lot to this. Why what skills you should be using, why you wouldn't want to use it maybe over here. And you know, I just hope this really helps. And please leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the video. And I really do appreciate you guys greatly. I really, really do appreciate the support. Never expected this channel to ever even be what it is. It wouldn't be what it is without all of you amazing players. And I've met so many great people through this, and I'm just really thankful for the support again. And you know, as I always say at the very end of this, guys, just have fun. And one more statement: keep an open mind. Do not hesitate to try something new, because you never know what you might be missing. And one more little statement here: record. Show me your videos. I go over and watch your guys' videos just as much as you watch mine. So if you got a cool video or something maybe I'm missing, or you want me to see something, do not hesitate to let me know. So it's been a pleasure, guys, and until next time.